3, 2, 1. Okay. Hi guys. Podcast number 3.
Number 3? Oh my god.
I thought you were past 10.
Fail.
I thought you were past 10.
No, this is podcast 11.
Yeah, you're right. This is totally I don't know what I'm talking about.
She was just kidding.
I wasn't kidding.
She was keeping count.
She was.
Hi guys, podcast number 11. I'm super excited to see you guys again and tell you, well, I'm not telling ghost stories. We have Marissa here again from last time.
Hey, and that's my dog.
Yes.
So if you hear intense breathing,
That's a husky right there.
Yeah.
it's
That's
the
all the
husky.
panting.
You
That's
see him.
him.
Right there.
Hi. So, so we have Marissa again. She has the spookiest stories ever. I haven't heard them. Andrea, have you heard them?
I haven't, but I've been looking forward to it.
So let's go. Prepare to not sleep tonight. Yeah.
Let's see how this goes.
Hi, Marissa.
Yes. So I had mentioned last time, a few weeks back, about when I grew up I was born in Guatemala. Up until the age of 9, I lived in Guatemala. So during that time, my grandmother, so my dad's mom, she her and her sister decided that they were gonna get rent or Drogo, you're so loud.
It's a really good sound effect. It's so intense.
And I ran and I was so tired and I was panting.
Good. Just like a dog.
Right, just like the dog. So that's what I sounded like.
You're good. We should pay you.
So my grandmother and her sister decided they were gonna get a house together, and so they were a family house. So I was 9 years old, so I'm like, I have no idea what's happening, why they're doing this, why. So I was living at my aunt's house, and my grandma's like, we're moving to our own space, and we're like, great. So as soon as I get to the house the first time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, this does not look like a house, first of all. So these are all thoughts to my 9-year-old self. I'm not telling anybody this. Bless you. Just gross.
He does not agree that it's a house.
Bless you
again. He's like, bless you again. He's like, that was not a house. Nope. Nope. Oh my god.
Are you done? Are you done? They didn't say you were a guest on this podcast.
You're a guest now, Drogo.
So I'm looking at the house from the front. It's like a big black door gate kind of situation. And the first thing I noticed, it was a bunch of like little gargoyle statues. And then you go in, and then off to the side there's a bunch of lockers. And I'm like, if this is a house, again, thoughts to 9-year-old self, why are there lockers that are literally locked up, like with chains and locks? And so I'm like, this is very weird. So I can't remember who it was that opened it, but
Opened the lockers.
Yeah, opened the lockers, because like, again, this is weird. And there was another gargoyle statue. And so my family's like very religious, so they were like, oh God, these are idols, and there was probably some witchcraft going on here, people worshiping these little statues or whatever. I knew they were gargoyles, because who hasn't watched the show Gargoyles,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, you guys don't know, but those are gargoyles. So I didn't, ever since from the start, I didn't have a good feeling about this house. Like, it was just,
I didn't
feel comfortable. I'm like, it doesn't feel like a house or a home should feel like. So my grandma's sister took the first floor. Her two, they were older children. And then my grandmother and myself and the twins, my brothers, we went on the second floor. So my parents were here in the States, and that's why we were living with my grandma. So, again, the second floor felt super weird. There was so as soon as you go into the second floor, off to your left, you would have the kitchen and the bathroom. And then off to the right, you would have like multiple rooms. come to find out that this house was previously a school. So the fact that it was a school already creepy, because just the feeling that I got, I was like, who knows what kind of school this was previously. So then they turned it into a house.
You never really found out like what kind of school it was?
I never did. I never found out what it was. Like the age of children, like none of that. I didn't know any of that. So, but we did know for a fact that it was a school. So they turned it into a house. So there were 2 rooms up at the front of the house where you could see, like, you know, down to the big gate that was in front of the house. Those rooms, like I was mentioning to you earlier, like those rooms, my gut, it didn't sit right with me. I'm like, I feel something, and it's not like friendly. It's not comfortable. It was weird. It was this real weird gut feeling. I'm like, I don't like this. Of course, I couldn't tell my grandma because you're kids, and sometimes they're like, we don't believe you, or like you're making stuff up. So I didn't tell my grandma. I didn't tell the twins. I didn't tell my brothers. They're actually young, so they were 7 years old when we moved into that house. So they were definitely a lot younger, but I felt like they also felt the same, that the house was weird. So one day,
she laughs. I like the inside. I have this gut feeling. I have one of those gut feelings that this is not really gonna make me laugh. Like she goes, one day,
That uncomfortable chuckle.
like super uncomfortable, guys. Like we started hearing like footsteps, and my grandma wasn't around, but me and my cousin, so I guess he's really my dad's cousin, so I guess second cousin or whatever. So he heard the footsteps, and he's like, are you guys playing upstairs? And we're like, nah, we're not playing. Like, we're sitting down. Like, we're not doing anything like playing ball or anything. So he heard footsteps of like people running and like playing with a ball, like the sound of a ball. And we're like, yeah, we're definitely not playing. But then we started hearing it too. Like, I heard the footsteps, and
but like, what's the setup? So like, are you in like your room and it's like a hallway?
Yeah, so it was one long hallway. So as soon as you come up to the second floor, it was one long hallway, and off the hallway, that's where there were 2 bedrooms off to the front of the house, and then another bedroom. And then so there were like really in total 4 bedrooms in the floor. So I was way up front, like nobody was next to me in that long hallway. I was in one bedroom, and then the other empty bedroom, but it was an empty bedroom, so nobody was next to me. And then in the room after that was my grandma's room, and then the twins. And so I was nowhere like near anybody. So the fact that I was alone off to like, that was already horrible. And then so that long hallway then led to like the kitchen, and then the bathroom, and some other room that I can't even remember. So we were upstairs like doing our homework. So then that's my cousin downstairs. He's hearing these things like footsteps and then running, and then the ball like bouncing like a bouncy ball. And we're like, yeah, no, we're not. I'm like, no, we're not playing. That's definitely not us. So not only would we hear it, he would hear it along the hallway where we were, but like we'd hear it. So there was a terrace up at the top. So it's an extra floor, but it wasn't covered. So it was just, you could go up there and see all around you. And we also heard footsteps running and playing, but up younger there? Kids. Yeah. So like giggling and chuckling of younger kids. So, needless to say, freaky ass place, freaky. And that's the only thing that like I'd heard the most of was like the kids, and he also heard the kids, giggling and playing, and so like there would be random sounds happening here and there. So one of those nights where I'm sleeping, like this is brand new, we're brand new to this house. So all those kids' voices and all that's like happening further down, but as soon as we moved in, I was sleeping in that corner room all by myself. So like if I needed to scream, like nobody would listen to me or whatever. Like I was just off to the side basically. So I saw like people shadows, like so these rooms they had glass windows, so like long hallway wall, but the half the wall is concrete, like halfway down is concrete, and then up is all glass windows.
So like an office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you
so
could,
but the window is like matted, not matted, but like you can't see through it. It's kind of like what they use in bathrooms and stuff, the kind of window so you can see through.
Oh, okay. But you could see like the shadows.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's when I started seeing black shadows when I went to sleep. So just black shadows passing by. Mind you, this is a very rural area. So it's not an urban place where there's cars passing by. Like our neighbors were poor as hell. Like these kids had no shoes. They had no cars. So there's no cars driving up and down the street. Like there was the house, the kids' house. They had actually a bunch of chickens. That's what they lived off of, like selling eggs and stuff. And then it had to be probably the same distance between like my house and my neighbor's house was the next house. I don't even know how long. I can't even tell you like distance. I'm terrible at estimating distance. So it was maybe, I don't know, maybe not less than a mile out. So it's like, so there's nothing around us to be like reflecting light from anywhere to be like putting these shadows from something else. You know what I mean? Like, so that shadow wasn't like somebody walking by a light and you could see no. This is a second floor also. So it's not like, so
you're not right. Yeah.
So it's like I kept seeing shadows and I'm like petrified, and I hated sleeping there, so I would find any excuse to sleep with the twins. Like that room, I am not like as a 9-year-old girl, also like you're not anywhere near somebody that you could feel safe with either. So again, these shadows were just like, it was just like a silhouette of a man just walking around, and I could not wait till the morning, because this happened often. Like I could not wait till the morning to like, oh my god, it's daylight, no more shadows. Like that's how terrified I was of like everything that was happening in this house.
But you still weren't, like, you didn't say anything.
I never said anything to anybody. But when I talked about it with the twins, they're like, you heard it too? You got, like, why didn't we talk about this when we were younger? But also they were 7, so it's not like something that I thought that maybe they were experiencing either. So I'm not sure why we never talked about it. But yeah, it was pretty freaky. Like, again, as a 9-year-old, it was weird to hear these things and to think that they were like, they're real, because I'm freaking hearing them. And then I moved out, like, I don't know how long, to be honest with you. I don't remember how long we lived in this house, but I just hated it so much. Like, can't remember how long we were there, but we moved out, like, the twins and I and my grandmother, we moved out. But my grandma's sister stayed, and my second cousin, he told me later on again that he kept hearing the kids playing upstairs. So, okay, we've already moved out. We're not even up there trying to play games. No, he's still hearing like kids running around and giggling and playing and throwing like the bouncy ball. It's like the sound of it was like the dodgeball ball. It's like,
yeah.
You know how it sounds against a floor? Like that's exactly the sound that we would hear.
Damn.
So it was not fun at all. The most awful experience as a little kid with anything that has to do with like seeing shadows or hearing things that weren't there. I mean, even taking a shower was creepy as hell. Like, it was so scary. Like, I hated living in that house, and I wish I had said something. Now I'm like
Wait,
super old.
so what would happen like when you were taking a shower?
I would just hear the noises too. Like I would either like the door knocking, but nobody was knocking. Yeah, so things like random sounds. Like I'm like, hello, nobody would answer. So it was and I asked my grandma, like, did you knock on the door? No, I didn't knock on the door. Or the twins, like, because they're mean to me sometimes. So I thought
they would,
that
like,
maybe,
mess with
yeah.
you.
They wouldn't do that.
Wow.
So it was very, like, those really random noises, like knocking on the door. I think I'm not sure if this is something that the twins or I heard. I can't, like, trying to repress the memory of, like, doors opening also, opening and closing. So I'm just, not something that I would.
That's really
ever
creepy,
wanna
but like
experience.
everything you're saying is something that I could picture happening in a school.
Right.
Like
yeah.
just like
Wow,
a
that's
guy
a
going
really
down
good
the
point.
hallway, little kids playing, like
Mhm.
recess, opening and closing of doors, people coming in and out of classrooms.
That kind of
like,
ding dong ditch knocking
Yeah.
on the door.
Yeah. So that was my experience with, and like I said, I don't remember how long we lived there, but I felt like it was for freaking ever.
So it was just the 2 floors and then the terrace on top.
And I don't even know like what was happening on the first floor, because I'm sure that my cousin like heard stuff too that he wouldn't tell us, but he did tell us that one time. He's like, after you guys left, like I still kept hearing the kids play. I was like, oh heck no! Like,
Did your grandma ever say anything?
no, I don't know if he ever told my grandma. My cousin told my grandma. I don't know, but I know that I didn't tell her. I just didn't feel right. Like, I'm like, that's a place that we were gonna live. So what was I gonna, like? We can't live here, you know. So it was, as a kid, like, it was hard to like deal with that internally and try to like process it and like, is this real or am I imagining it?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so that was also another thing that I like really struggled with after the fact, because I was like, was I making it up in my head, or was I too scared that I was? I don't think I was, though. I think it was something that actually happened.
Yeah, especially if you had like your brothers like later on be like, oh yeah, we heard that too, and like your cousin like, I still heard it after you. I feel so bad. I feel so bad for him.
Oh my god,
I still had to deal with
like,
it.
I would just like clutch the teddy bears and everything on my bed, like I could suffocate myself with the blankets over my head because like I don't want to see these shadows anymore. Like that was freaky.
Whoa, I used to do that when actually, like I
Oh my god.
I resonate with that. Like I used to do that when I was little.
Yeah.
And I still do that. Like if I'm freaked out about ghosts or something like that, or like somebody's watching me at night, I literally like cover myself like from head to toe. I allow myself to breathe a little bit.
Let's just leave a little hole.
Enough to
I'm good.
Enough to not die during the night.
That's crazy. That sounds like such an experience, and like I really wonder like what kind of school it was.
Same. I like, especially like just thinking about the little gargoyles. Like, I don't know what school out there has gargoyles. I know my school in like New York didn't have gargoyles. So like that was all really strange. Like how specific like those, because they were, I don't remember if they were all the same or not, but like just the fact that they were there
at all,
and that they were like being hidden behind the lockers, and like what kind of message was all of this trying to send, you know what I mean? Like, and like I don't know, we just kind of moved in and just let it be, but like I mentioned before, everywhere I go now it's like throw my holy water. No, just kidding. I don't have holy water, but like it's just like I come into my house and I feel safe and comfort and peaceful. Yeah. But every time I went into that house, I hated it. Like going to school and going away from it, it was amazing. But then like coming back, I'm just like, now I have to sit here and deal with this. So for me, playing outside with my neighbors, like that was heaven, because I'm like, I avoided all of that until I had to come back in to go take a shower to them, you know what I mean? Like that was, it was always pretty scary, like coming back into there.
That's crazy. I'm trying to process it all in my head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like really imagine going through that like process as a little kid.
Yeah.
Every day these things happen where you're seeing like shadows, you're hearing children run around, play the ball and everything like that. And like
that's really freaky.
It's definitely like happened because I've definitely experienced like a ton of things that are very similar. Yeah. So, I mean,
and for kids to just experience that, like, even just 1 week, like, that's just...
And this was, like I said, I know it's definitely about a year or more, but, like, once I knew I was moving out, I was like, oh, my God, like, this nightmare literally is over. It was so bad. But like even just like talking with schools though, where we worked before, I definitely heard babies crying.
Seriously?
Swear to God.
You never told me that.
Babies crying in the basement. Yeah. Before the basement was renovated.
That gives me so many chills. I just got chills. They say that the chills is like confirmation.
It's seriously, I don't. So this center, like, they renovated the 3 floors, like first, second, and third.
So this is where you and
Where
Andrea
yeah.
work.
So this is where we used to work together.
Yeah. The basement when I first went, it was 2004. When I started going there and working there, they had the basement where they had like the food pantry and like they had like a closet where people could get clothes and stuff like that. So I was down there. So part of my job was to organize some of the clothing that would come in or sort the bags of clothing that would come in. So I would just be down. Like I'd never ever crossed. Yeah, it was creepy going down there and turning on all the lights, but it never crossed my mind like to. I was like, I'm going there to do my job and that's it. Like I never thought of anything else. The first time though, it was my name. Somebody said my name.
No way, you actually heard your
Somebody
name.
said my name. And I'm like, I thought it was the secretary, so I'm like, yes, and I said her name and okay, no response. I was like, whatever, I guess she didn't really need me. And I heard it again. I was like, oh. So I run upstairs and I'm like, were you just downstairs calling my name? She's like, no, I've been here typing. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I just heard my name being called. And she's like, nah, it's probably just, whatever. I was like, no, I just heard my name being called. And if you were here sitting down, then who the heck was calling my name? So I had to get over it because, again, it's still my job to go down there.
So this is when you were working as like
the
front
secretary.
desk.
Yeah, when I was working as the secretary. So the second time I heard anything down there. So I'm already like apprehensive about going down to the basement to do anything because I've already heard stuff. So basically you would go down the stairs. Jesus, you scared the crap out of me. Drogo, that was so rude.
Oh my God.
You scared us.
I think I just had a mild panic attack or like a heart.
That was so not cool, Drogo. You scared the crap out of me.
That was timed so perfectly, Joe.
That really was.
For anybody who doesn't know or who couldn't see that on the camera, the dog just jumped because I think I pet him in a weird way.
He jerked. And he scared the crap out of us because he hit the cage really hard. All right, well, so after that mini heart attack, the way the basement was set up, you would go down these stairs and off to like there was also a long what's the long hallways. So it was like a hallway, and then off to the right it was a big room where the clothing closet was. And then further down, all the way to the back, there was still an empty bathroom. So there was still a mural that was painted like years ago. So this school is super old, like super old. I can't even remember. So then there was a mural that was like, the paint was peeling off. So and then there was like a brick wall. So everything was like falling apart back there, and there was a bathroom. So it was all, but the diapers were all the way in the back where the diaper bank was for. The diapers were all the way in the back. So when I had to go get diapers, I had to go all the way to the back. So one time I'm also fixing the clothing, emptying out bags and whatever. And the crying starts. A baby's crying. So I'm like, hello? Did anybody come down? Because I'm like, nobody should be going down at that time that I was there because we had very specific hours where people could go down there. And I'm like, hello, is anybody out there? Nobody answers. So I was like, okay, well. So I ask again, is anybody freaking crying again? I'm like, oh.
Like loud crying?
Like loud crying, like loud baby crying. So I run upstairs again to the secretary. Her name's Rosie. So I'm like, Rosie, there's babies crying down there. I'm never going back down there again. I was like, I already heard my name, and now there's babies crying. I am not going back down there. Oh. I'm like, who knows what happened to those babies down there? I am not going down there. Next. Yeah, or what I'm gonna hear next. I was like, there's no freaking way. So then after that, I never went back down. I was like, nope, not exposing myself to that. No. So.
Dude, I remember when I had to do that and be like the first person in the building to open everything up, like I would make sure that at least when I had to go to the basement, my phone was like playing something.
Yeah.
So in case like anything happened, I just.
And you were down there, basement's already renovated.
Oh yeah, so I didn't have to experience it the way that you had experienced it.
Yeah, because you had to like, the one like light bulb that you have to put the string.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the lighting was when I was there. Pull the string, run to the second string, pull the string, run to the. Shit. No, it wasn't like you turn on one light and everything turns on. No, this was like you have to jump from one to the next. And again, the diapers, they were all the way in the back, right next to the bathroom where the mural was. I was like, I don't know what happened down here. And it was like, it was a school that was, I think it was run by nuns, or at least the majority of people teaching there were nuns. I was like, who knows what the nuns were doing to the kids? Who knows? Like, it's just so creepy. It's creepy. So yeah, I never went back down to the basement ever. And it's so funny because then I ended up working in the basements. So that's why I also hated it. But at least there was light down there at that point. But yeah, it was pretty creepy. It's just the school thing is just kind of weird. Like just the vibe of the old school. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what happened down there. Don't ever want to know what happened down there. But there was babies crying, for sure.
I think that, like, soon, the three of us should go to the Lizzie Borden house.
How about no?
Marissa's not going in there.
Not at all.
No
way?
No, I'm telling you, I just had to hear babies crying and I was done. I was done.
I don't know, because I love hearing the stories, and, like, I have tons of them. And I don't really wish upon myself, like, to have more necessarily. But at the same time, like, I go down, like, my basement a lot, and it's a little creepy. The whole place is a little creepy in general. But I always think, okay, something might happen. But I'm always like, it'll be cool. I'll have a cool story for the podcast.
Crazy.
I don't know. So... That's so crazy, though. Like, honestly, you must be sensitive to that kind of stuff for them to say your name.
Yeah, I think that's the... Yeah. Okay, babies is one thing, but, like, saying your name?
Yeah,
that's, like, a whole other...
You're sensitive to it.
Yeah. Or, like, I know, I don't know if I've ever told my mom, but I know my mom would say, it's just probably Jesus calling me. I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't.
Was it a feminine or male?
It was a male voice.
Ooh.
It was a male voice.
Marissa.
That's interesting. It was just like just sounded like he was kind of whispering in your ear.
No,
like he was right here.
Audible, like calling from like the room next, like loud and clear from like as if they were calling from another room. So it wasn't just like a whisper. It was.
I've heard that too. I've actually heard both before. I don't know if you know that, but like
someone called your name?
No. This was I noticed, I don't know if the same thing for you, but like I noticed the more that I'm open to these kind of things, the more they happen, increasingly more. And then when I close it off, the less it'll like happen, or it'll kind of just like
Was that just me, or did the light flicker?
Does that normally happen?
Oh yeah, it does. The AC turned on. Yeah. No, girl, I told you this house is prayed over. Like
I'm about to leave with Brittany. Like, let's go.
You can't leave me now. That'd be so rude. I'm gonna cuddle with Bella. Whatever.
Oh yeah, but I heard two things. So one was like it sounded like he was right here in my ear one night, and I just heard Dr. Samosa. Right here in my ear, and it wasn't me. It wasn't my voice. I did Google Dr. Samosa, like Connecticut. I didn't see anything. I could probably research again because I haven't done that in a really long time. But yeah, I saw Dr. Samosa, or I heard Dr. Samosa. The other time that I heard something was when I was at the Lizzie Borden house, and we were upstairs. Me and my friend were not going to sleep. We were hitting each other with pillows because it was like 6 a.m. and it was getting ridiculous. And all of a sudden, we just hear a man, like you were saying, from kind of far away. But it was like, just shut up. Shut up. It was a man who just said, shut up. And we were just like, we both just looked at each other. Did you hear that? Yeah, did you hear
sorry.
that? We both heard it, just like you said.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Because it's one thing to like have us experience things, but when the other person experiences the same exact thing, sees the same exact thing, it obviously happened. So me and her just looked at each other like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Someone just said shut up, and we kind of just like laughed about it, like, huh? No, jerk. I'm not gonna shut up. It's not your house anymore. I mean, it kind of is, but no.
Yeah.
You're only here in spirit.
So it's crazy. And it's crazy that, like, you had that experience with the children. In a way, it's kind of, like, bittersweet. Because it's like, oh, they're children.
Yeah,
they're playing around.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you're not really supposed to be playing around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, don't play, like, you know what I mean? Like,
so was it just uncomfortable because, like, obviously, like, it's uncomfortable to experience there, or was it really like a feeling of like negativity?
Definitely a negative feeling. Yeah.
Okay.
No, just from the first day that I walked in, I'm like, this is.
We shouldn't be
like
here.
I didn't know what to call it. Again, as a 9-year-old, I didn't know what to call it, but I know that this was like, it felt bad. That's how it felt. Like I think that's the only way that I could describe it. Then it felt bad. So it was definitely a bad energy. I just felt it in my gut. Felt it like right away. I'm like, nope, don't like this.
One of you told me another story like that where you were looking for a house.
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
So we were
This one was
we were looking for a house in Long Island. So we were living in New York and we were looking for houses in Long Island. So we visited a couple with some friends and church friends. And we went to this one particular house, and like, beautiful house, super cute. We walked in, I was like, not feeling it. And then we walked by this one room. It, like, all the other rooms seemed to have some sort of light in it, but this room did not have light in it. Like, it was like the window shut, no light. Like, it was super dark. And I'm like, I felt it again, like the same feeling that I had in that house. Like, I felt it again. I was like, this is negative, bad. Like, something is in there. And so we went. I didn't say anything. So I was obviously now a lot older. I think I was probably 12 or 13 or something like that. And we walked into one. We were looking at the rest of the house. Again, that room was kind of odd. We walked into the basement. And my dad noticed that there were like witchcraft, like things in the basement, like little skulls, little weird pots with stuff in them and stuff like that. So my dad's like, okay. He's like, yeah, no, we're good. Like, let's get out.
Let's get out, yeah.
So when we got outside, my dad's like, did you guys notice all the witchcraft stuff? I hadn't noticed it because I wasn't really paying attention. I just knew that I felt off. And I'm like, I didn't see it, but but did you feel that in that room, that one room that was dark? He's like, yeah, I felt it. He's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's like, I thought it was just me that felt it. I was like, oh no. And then without having told anybody else, like my other friend comes in, is like, did you feel that energy, bad weird energy from that room?
Wow.
And then we're like, yeah, obviously they have witchcraft stuff in the house. Who the heck knows what kind of witchcraft is going on down there? Like, you know, so we're like, so three of us that we know of, like, felt it and that negative energy at this house. So
that's crazy. I mean, that's the craziest thing is, like, every time I hear stories about, like, witchcraft, like, that seems to be, like, the stuff that, like, you seriously don't want to mess with. Everything else is kind of just, like, a little creepy, laughs and giggles and kind of like that. Like, you can play with Ouija boards, you can do the Bloody Mary thing like we did at the house.
I would say that's pretty dark, the Ouija.
Yeah.
The Ouija boards, I would say, is pretty
but
dark.
I mean, like, I've heard stories where people kind of just laugh it off. But, like, every time I hear stories about, like, witchcraft, it's, like, never usually a story that's, like, laughable. It's kind of, like, more intense, and it's, like, you should not mess with that.
Like,
so I don't know. Like, I think they always say there's, like, white magic and black magic. So it sounds like that's just a thing you have to be very like responsible about and stuff.
Yeah. Or just completely stay away, because it was just a bad feeling. It was funny because it was the same feeling I had gotten earlier with the other house, so, or schoolhouse, whatever the heck it was.
Oh my god, that's creepy. What if it was like the same thing? Like, I don't know, they followed or something.
No, I think it's just like
She went.
I'm gonna go burn sage.
She went no.
No, stay away.
Wiped it off her shoulders. Get off.
No, I think she already knew the feeling of somewhere she shouldn't be, so it was the same thing.
For sure.
That
They're like,
sucks.
no, next house. We're definitely not looking into this one.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. So that's
Marissa.
And that's it. I don't got any more.
She's keeping them to herself.
My dad's the one that has all the stories, guys. My dad's got the stories. But no, that's it. As far as I experienced anything, that was the two really.
So let's go to Guatemala.
Yeah.
Let's go to Guatemala.
Let's go to Guatemala.
Let's find this church house thing.
Yeah.
Brittany can go and she'll let us know how it goes.
Yeah. Bring us back the report.
We'll be a couple miles back.
I'm starting to see the trend here. It sounds like I am going to be the person who goes in and then I'll regret it and then I'll be like, fuck guys. Damn it.
Back.
And then you'll just be like, oh shit, eating the popcorn. Like, did that really happen? I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, yeah.
Here's the picture.
Me and the ghost take a picture like, you're like,
What's
damn
up?
it, I wanted that for Instagram. I get the Instagram pics.
Yeah. Say what's up to Marissa for me. Oh my god, that'd be so great.
I'm just gonna be like, let's take a selfie. Okay.
But first.
And then it's like, okay, can I haunt you? No, not yet. I'm not ready.
I wouldn't even want to know how much creepy shit is like in Guatemala or like Peru or like those
There's a
places.
lot.
Ugh.
Why do you think that, like, yeah, I think like South America, they're pretty, like,
I think it's because
into the
they're more
paranormal.
I think they're just more open to it, more into it.
Well, I mean, with
There's
like
more-
that, there's a lot of like the witchcraft and stuff like that. I think there's a lot more with like the culture of the native people. Some of them do a lot of that as well. So it's like yeah, and they pray to weird things too. Like, well, we considered weird to them. It's not, but like, or that, you know, we're not obviously in that environment. So, you know, we like they pray to. There's just one doll guy he has glasses and they come and pray to him. They leave money. I mean, this mannequin has mad money like all around him, and just people coming brings cigars and just burn them. I mean, there's all these things going on. Like, yeah, there's definitely like all of that.
That's
that
wild.
Still happens. Yeah.
There's also, I think over here in like North America, Louisiana, they do a lot of like voodoo and stuff. We could do that.
I like how she's so nonchalant about this.
So by the way,
when are we gonna find out that Brittany's like a witch, straight up?
You know how many times
She's just
I've
testing
been told,
us.
Dude, I've been told that probably like 10 times this past like 2 weeks solid.
That you're a witch?
Yes. And I'm like, chill out, bruh. I'm not. Because, like, okay, the other day, I was, like, taking a road trip. And I was like, I told my friend, you have to pee. And then instantly he had to, like, pee. He's like, freak, you're a witch. I don't understand. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sick of it, though. Don't call me a witch anymore. Maybe it was in my past life. I don't know.
possibly.
But it
you
sounds
were a
like I'm
good
going to be
witch.
venturing off to these wild things. I'm going to be taking selfies with some spirits.
Well, we definitely have to go back to Deadly Town.
Yeah.
Where is that?
Marissa, let's go.
Where is this?
It's like an hour drive, right? Like an hour
That
drive.
was like, meh.
Send me pictures.
What's the town?
Not going.
Huh?
What's the town again?
It's Dudley.
No. But what is?
Oh. Cornwall,
Connecticut.
This woman put that's Cromwell last time.
Yeah.
We went to the opposite state of Connecticut.
Not the opposite part.
I mean, pretty much. I was like, Andrea, this doesn't look right. She's like, trust me. You're a witch, Andrea.
Hey, we got to the state troopers.
That's because you're a witch. That's crazy, Marissa. You have some pretty crazy stories.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you've done some inner work.
Yeah.
And you've gotten over that kind of stuff.
Yes. Haven't heard anything since.
Awesome.
Right, Drogos.
That's some really good stories. I guess I'll tell everybody on the podcast really quick as like a bonus kind of story. Something that I just told you guys like a second ago, but something that just happened the other day was, so like growing up, I would always like wake up in the middle of the night, probably right the same time, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.-ish. And it would always feel like somebody's just like kicking my bed, like super hardcore. And I would always wake up and I always thought it was something like in my head or something, or like my heart was beating really fast, so I felt that throughout my body. I don't know, it's just something I always thought rational. I was like, something's rational. This is actually exactly in the area, the house, where I saw my shadow figure, because I saw a shadow figure as well too, just like you did. It just like showed up and then disappeared immediately. I didn't see mine walk around like crazy. It kind of just popped up looking at me like, hey, how's it going, B? Okay, you're good. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. It didn't say anything though. It should have communicated what was up.
That would have made it better.
Yeah, it just happened actually the other night though. Like I was sleeping and it woke me up. Like it was just hardcore kicking in my bed. My bed was shaking. And I just woke up and I was looking around. This just happened the other day. I'm 24 now, and I was like what the heck is it, you know? Yeah. And I was looking around. Nothing was around. I couldn't see anything, but literally the bed was shaking. It was almost like somebody was just like boom, 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 like on the table or something. It was just insane. And I checked my heart. I looked around. Nothing. Nobody was around. My heart was normal. Nothing made sense. Like finally when I was like ready to go to bed, it kind of like relaxed. It almost felt like the energy was like, okay, yeah, she's not paying attention, so I'll give up. Yeah. I'll do this later. BRB.
LOL.
LOL. You think these ghosts are like this funny? Like, I don't know. Do you think they're this funny, or do they're listening, they're like, damn, man, I should be a little bit funnier.
They get together to laugh at us.
It's just so crazy. Like, yeah.
That's crazy. Well, guys.
That was podcast 11. Thank you for podcast 3, podcast 11, whatever you really want to call it. Honestly, it's your world. Go for it. Damn, I've been meditating too much.
It's a good thing.
Hope you guys don't get anybody knocking on the bottom of your beds tonight.
I don't know. Like I was just telling them.
No shadow figures.
I'm just like whatever at this point. Like I'll have something good to talk about.
For next podcast.
Call your name out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can handle that if I just heard Brittany.
Yeah, that's way too specific.
That's too much. Chill out, girl.
Too personal.
Chill out, Ghosty. Get a new name.
Yeah.
Ghosty.
Ghosty.
I don't know their name yet, so. Yeah, let me look up. So, Dr. Samosa.
Samosa. That's a very, like, different
Whoa.
name.
It says Dr. Samosa, vascular surgeon. Oh, God, I'm so scared. Oh, my God, Dr. Samosa.
Where?
I think he's alive, though. So, it says Dr. Samosa in Worcester, Massachusetts. Vascular surgeon.